Hello, Star Wars fans. Hey, there's just 146 days until Christmas 2022. Oh boy, I've got Making Star Wars show right over here on my YouTube monitor. I've got Good Morning America up there on the wall, and I've got my Andor and Tales of the Jedi leaks over here on the other monitor, and we are looking forward to looking at this trailer this morning. They said it would be released at 8:20 a.m. Eastern, so we've got everything queued up to go, and I've been hitting the old refresh on the YouTubes, and we're watching. Hey, there's Diego Luna right there on Good Morning America. Let me turn up the volume there so I can hear what he's talking about. We'll talk about that. And then, here we go. So, yeah, they're talking about how the series is based around Diego's character. Of course, the Cassian Andor. There we get a picture. Some shots from Rogue One, which I've started reading. Hey, Star Cabal, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Adam's here. Fan Jexer, good to see you. And I started reading the one of the Rogue One prequel books just to catch that. Oh, okay. Now they're covering the Black Series. Oh, Adam, nobody wants that. No, nobody wants that at all. So very funny. And Kendall, good morning. Which channel is it on? Peter Griffin, good morning. Star Wars Fits, which channel is that on? Good Morning America is United States on ABC. So that's that's on this morning, and it's over the air right now. And if you've got, I know like Jason Ward is over on the West Coast, and so it's delayed there 3 hours. And I don't know over in the UK if you can pick up. Okay, so now they're showing the trailer that we've already seen, and yeah, this is the original trailer that we've seen. I'm going to hit refresh on YouTube, see if it shows up over here yet, so that we can share it on screen. I looked to see if I could bring up the Good Morning America feed on my through a web browser, but they've got it delayed. It's not going to work that way, so I'm just going to have to watch to see. It's going to see when they bring it on, and then I expect it to show up on YouTube almost immediately. So we'll jump over there. We do have, just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, we've got extensive leaks for Tales of the Jedi. The guy who released the footage before has broken down more, as Ahsoka is the leaker's name, and he has a quite extensive list of content here. We've got full breakdown of like every single episode, so that's very extensive, or at least half of the episodes. I see Jason's over there looking at things. Let's see if it's showed up yet. Oh, 3 episodes. It's going to open with 3 episodes. We had heard it was going to open with 2. He's now saying it's going to open with 3 episodes. Yeah, 3 episode premiere. It's right there, September 21st. Oh, that's a week earlier. Oh my goodness, it's quite a bit. No, September 21st. No. My brain. Okay, so now they're showing the full trailer. There's stormtroopers. Cassian's walking through. All right, let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get the trailer to come up. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is good. Let's see if I can get this. It says starting September 21st. Now, we had originally had August 31st as the starting date. Now they're pushing that all the way back to September 21st. That's going to be news of the day. And this trailer is huge, but at the same time, pushing it back 3 weeks, September 21st, and starting with 3 episodes. That's rough. Oh, I saw Maz Kanata. Streaming September 21st on Disney Plus. Oh my goodness. There's the that's bearing the lead. So I mean the trailer being released is one thing. Let me turn down the GMA. We don't need that anymore. I'll mute that. But pushing the start date back to September 21st is really the lead, I think. Well, of course, we'll break down this trailer, but that is pretty. That's a that's a pretty big deal. Let's see if I can find this trailer now. If they've got it on the Disney.com, and we'll see if I can find the full trailer here. Where is it? Where is it? Show me. Star Wars. How about StarWars.com? Do we have it on the StarWars.com yet? Where's the Kenobi or the Andor trailer? Show us the Andor trailer. Let me search here for Andor trailer and see if it'll come up here. It should be available very, very soon. This is a big deal. There it is. No, that's 2 months ago. That's not the one from today. What do you guys think, first of all, of them pushing it back to September 21st? I think that's a big deal. That's 3 weeks later to get the first 3 episodes. Originally, we thought that was going to be August 31st, and it was going to be 2 episodes. Okay, Adam says it's on the Star Wars. Let me go to Star Wars YouTube. Go to their videos. And let's see if I can get it to refresh. Just dropped on Star Wars YouTube. So the only one I have so far on the Star Wars YouTube machine is the High Republic Phase 2. So let me go to StarWars.com again. Refresh there. Here, you know what? This will be more entertaining if you guys can see what I'm seeing. Let's share, and we'll do that. All right. Yeah. Makes me feel icky, Will says. Yeah, going back to September 21st. That's, again, you guys, I think that is going to be, you know how the YouTube is, you know how the community is. The people who want to trash on Disney all the time, who want to trash on Lucasfilm all the time, the people who want to say Kathleen Kennedy is the devil, all that kind of stuff. I think they are going to be jumping onto the September 21st, pushing it back to September 21st. That's going to be big. Yeah, I think, Adam, it is smart to push it back. They're having ObiWan, Miss Marvel, and now after She-Hulk. Right. I think that, hey, look, we've got all the cool stuff. Our good friend, over there in the UK. I'd rather wait a couple weeks for something polished than rushed. And I don't know if it's that, Dave. I think it's more of what Adam said, pushing it back due to scheduling. One thing that's been a little frustrating on Disney Plus, the platform, right? The platform is getting a release schedule, like when things are coming out. And let me check something here real quick, because they started doing this releases on Wednesday nights, or actually Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, and it's kind of crazy. I don't understand why they insist on doing both the same night, where everything releases on that Tuesday night to Wednesday, rather than pushing some of it to Fridays. Fridays to me is easier. Oh, hey, thanks, Fitz. Fitz just sent me the trailer here. Let's get this There it is. So let me get this up here so you guys can see. And I'm going to leave it muted because we know how. Thanks, Matt Risman. Thank you, Matt. DM'd it to me as well. I got it DM'd from Matt and Fitz at the same time. So thank you guys. Let's take a look at this together. Like I said, channels have gotten strikes for showing this kind of stuff with the audio. So yeah, just do a countdown. We'll hit play together. So let me put the link in the chat here and see if it'll let me share that with you all. And just in case you don't have it, I was having trouble, so we'll put it there and see if that if it lets that go through. And let's see, there's Dawn. Dawn sent it to me. So everybody sent it to me. You guys, I think you're all set. We're going to hit the play in just a second. I've got my volume on, but I don't think it's feeding through. So I don't think you guys will hear it. Let me know if you are hearing it. And we will, lots of Scotland here. Oh, yes, indeed. Hey, we see Trinity over there in California. Good morning, Trinity. Nice and early. Hope you've got your coffee made and getting the caffeine. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, that's nice. You see here like a guttural sound. People watch. Oh man, that is a destroyer in atmosphere. Oh, it's right there. Very reminiscent of Rogue One. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what's going on in the books, the prequels to Rogue One. They're mining. There's the Senate. There's the Senate. Oh, okay, that's young Cassian there. From Andor, Cassian Andor. Okay. Now they're recruiting him for the rebellion, I suppose. Yeah, we got far. Okay. Of course. Let's cook. What? They've got some drop ships going there from the prequels. Okay, we're back on course, I'm guessing. I like that white uniform. Very, very reminiscent of Thrawn, right? Grand Admiral. Wearing the white. Oh, there's Mon Mothma. There she is. What are you really doing? Oh. Rebellion. Oh, yes, there's Scotland right there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sure that was who I thought it was. I don't know if that was Maz or not. It looked like another character, maybe the same sort of look. So let's go back and look at this in slower mo. And just first of all, my first reaction is that's fantastic. We got a really nice look at the show, Nikki. The show's always doomed to be delayed. Well, yeah, they have pushed it back to September 21st. That's nuts. Yeah, the scale. You know, Adam, I was having trouble keeping up with all the different places we've gone, right? When you talk about the scale, I see different planets. It looks like we're going to get a lot of different environments. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is where Greg went. Darth Elvis, going to visit that location soon. You know, he went out there and took some pictures. We put it on Discord in the Andor channel ages ago, where he went out there and took pictures as they were setting up for filming. And got, not just the planet, but the sets. They look real. Well, some of these are real, though, Adam. As I was mentioning, Greg went out to Scotland where they were shooting some of this, and let me put this on playback speed slow. We'll do like Jason's doing over on his channel, and we'll look at this in slow mo together and talk about it. This looks like Scotland to me as well. There it is. The Croatian Dam is the location. So if you want to Google that, you can see. But this looks very much. This isn't The Sound of Music, my friends. This is play. I don't know who this dude is, and you can see there's like primitive huts behind them there in the woods where they've been. Would have been better if they filmed in Ireland, though. Fits there in Ireland, where Greg is up in Scotland. That's Glen Tilt at the start, Greg says. Excellent. And there's that Star Destroyer. Now, you've got a nice mix here of location shooting with CG over top. Yes, the dam location at the end he visited. Right. You can see that. I think I'm going to have to look in Discord. Maybe we'll repost the pictures. That'd probably be easier because it's so far back now. It's well over a year old where we put the pictures when Darth Elvis went out to the site. So as I was mentioning, Guardians of the Wills is the book I've been reading. And in that book, they talk a lot about them going in and mining, and where in the past, people would kind of pull these resources out to make a living. The Empire comes and they're just doing it, doing damage to the planet. They're doing damage to the environment. Here's the Senate. So there we see it, and we know that Meg already shared that Palpatine's buddy's going to be on there, and we expect. Hey, thanks, Moses Gardner. We thank you for the subscription. Palpatine's buddy is going to be there, and we expect to see Palpatine as well. Certainly, when you've got the whole Senate assembled and they're doing arguments in front of the Senate, you would expect Palpatine to be there presiding, right? Presiding. And here we see young Cassian, and he's given a little bit of narration of growing up under the Empire, their influence. Here he is a recruit. He's going through training. And hey, Greg says, I have video. I'll share them now. Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. We appreciate that. So look for that on Discord. If you're not a member of our Discord, the link is in the description. Come join. We have an Andor channel within the server, and we'll be posting some of those pictures that Darth Elvis took on site. This is the let me stop that and go back just a little bit. This lady here, not sure who she is. The blonde lady with the white uniform. You see, who's laughing now with my Masamita focus? Exactly, Dave. Meg shared that Masamita was going to be in there. She had that leak some time ago, so it does appear that's going to happen. And here we do see the Death Troopers with this white uniform. So is this an admiral of some sort? I'm not sure who she is. New character. And I saw Meg over on Jason's channel over on Making Star Wars talking about all the people who are excited about the callback characters, right? The cameos, the known characters. She's looking really forward to the new characters that will be introduced. And that lady looks to be pivotal there. This is very Rogue One-ish, right? We're back to the town where Chirrut lives, and in Rogue One. Yeah, here we've got some sort of facility, and this is interesting. I think they're making so. This is likely a lift of sorts. So you've got a facility here. They've created this part. This lift's going to come down, get the part, and carry it up to where they're doing the assembly, right? So that's what's going there. Yeah, they just lowered. This is going to come down. It's like a space crane, something like that. There's Cassian again, working. They're doing some manufacturing. Oh, look back here. You see back there in the background? See the long legs and the body? You remember in Mandalorian season 2 where we went to when he crashed the Razor Crest in the water, and then they had these like cranes picking things up out of the like it picked the Razor Crest out of the water and set it down. This is what we have back here. You could see the legs, the body with the crane attached to it right there. Right? Yeah. Hey, OG. Good to see you. OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. I appreciate that as well. Before Krennic, white uniforms used to mean ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. It could be the case. That absolutely could be the case. We're before the A New Hope. Approximately 5 years before A New Hope is when Andor is set, and this would be leading up to it. So very well could be ISB. We've got an ISB officer of sorts. I don't know who she is, but I'm very excited about it. Thanks for the reminder there. I appreciate that. Again, Rogue One. You can. They appear to be kind of time jumping a little bit, right? Because now we've seen at least 3 different eras of Andor. Cassian. We saw him as a kid. We've seen him like in training, and we've seen him more mature with the beard. So it appears to be a little bit of time jumping going on. This is a shiny new vehicle. And now this to me looks like it's done on the volume. And that this is a set around. I don't think this ship's actually here, but they may have the bottom part of it there, and then CGing the top of it. But this thing's a bright, shiny, brand new, very interesting looking vehicle. And we've got a speeder bike. You see the speeder down here, and you see the handlebars. It's facing us. This dude's walking to get on it. He's coming down the ramp. He's going to get on this speeder bike. Somewhat reminiscent of Darth Maul's speeder a little bit. It looks a little bit different. But that's an interesting little... yeah, see him coming down? There he goes. Oh, very Darth Maulish, right? This is just like Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace, where he pulls the hood over. That's great. That's got to be a callback to Maul from Phantom Menace, right? Here you see the fields where they're harvesting resources, and that's again what they're saying. The Empire comes in and strips away everything. I wanted to pause here because you guys, everybody knows Ahsoka, and you know who you know who Dave Filoni's favorite Jedi is, right? Plo Koon. This is the same creature, the same species, alien species, as Plo Koon. This guy is not Plo Koon, but he's the same species with the long gun that looks like it looks very much like the kind of rifles that the Tuskens use. We've got an X-wing down here, some sort of base going on. This looks great. From what I gather, I think it may be, and I'll have to talk a little bit with Baymax and Meg because they're more familiar with the actual location. I think this was shot in the UK. I saw pictures post filming where they went out to the site and saw where they were filming, and they had these things cut into the rock wall, and people were speculating, myself included, speculating that might be the oh shoot, I just lost the name of the planet. From Revenge of the Sith, where Order 66 starts, and we know that ObiWan was on the planet, and Cody was there, and he was on that big lizard character and going up the walls. Trying to remember the name of that planet. It's morning. It's fan gesture. Adam, Earth. I think it says Earth. That's fantastic. I'm trying to remember the name of the planet. I thought if I talked around it long. Utapau. That's it, Matt. Thank you so much, Mr. Risman. Thank you for that. Utapau. Where the Powans are from. Of course, the Grand Inquisitor, Powan, right? So, Utapau, right? We were speculating that these mines or these cutouts were on Utapau, and they were going to CG in the rest. This definitely does not look like Utapau, so I think that's been put away. And that's inside that same facility, right? They're doing some training in here. You can see the rock cutout. This is inside that same facility. I think we've got those pictures as well. I'll try to get those put in Discord today, where we were speculating about where those mines were. But that's it's not Utapau. It's and there we go. There's Saul Carrera. Would it be Jedi? I think it might be. Daggone it, Brian. It's morning, and I'm trying to recall all these things at the same time. Rogue One. What was the planet where Rogue One was primarily on? Where Saul was, where we had Sharut, the Empire was there. They were lies, deception. Very good, Dave. Very good, Dave. I think it's that. I think it might be there. I think it might be there. Hey, Leia Rose. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. So there's Saul Carrera. I love... now, this is what I was wondering about. Let me go back just a little bit. So we see them having this conversation. Jeddah. That's it. Thank you so much. Matt Risman, I appreciate that your brain is working better than mine this morning. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for that. So this guy is wearing the same color robes as Sharut did. And we did have, again, I'm reading that the book. In the book, there are Guardians of the Wills. There were a whole group of them, these religious order. And this guy looks like he may be of that same religious order. Don't recognize him, but he's a big brute of a dude. Nice full beard there. And they're going at it. They're, I think, on Jeddah. I think that's where they are. Here are the drop ships we mentioned, straight from the prequel era. We've got the drop ships coming in. And again, I think this might all be based around Jeddah, but not sure. Not exactly sure. Don't know who that dude is. Dave. Maybe I should get him Pepsi. Oh, look at this. Oh, those guys are... Oh, look. Wait, I paused at a really good spot, too. These guys here, they look to be muscle. They're bringing in muscle. There we go. You can see them coming out of the dropship there, wearing some heavy armor. Looking quite menacing. This dude back here, he's mean in business. These guys have the same sort of body shape as Santa. Just saying. We've got a different species here. This looks to be sort of maybe the same species that fixed Kylo Ren's helmet in The Rise of Skywalker. So, workers. Now, this has got to be Coruscant, right? You see traffic going on above. the nice, clean city there. Would Admiral Rampart be in it? Absolutely could be. Space Pinkertons. Thank you, David Tree. They do look like Pinkertons. If you don't know who Pinkertons are, look them up. ISB. I think you're right about this. She's an ISB agent. Blonde-haired lady. She looks to be a serious figure in this series. At least we see her several times, different places. So she may be one of our main antagonists in the series. She's again at a planning table. People reporting to her, giving her teats. All right. Is that Jyn Erso? It could be Meg. We haven't seen a face reveal of Meg. It could be, although we've seen her hair, it'd be more like that other lady there. There we go. I think that could be. I hate to speculate. Just live like this. I don't know. A well-to-do family. There's Mon Mothma coming in, looking great in that outfit. Cool. Yes, I agree with you, Will Morgan. Quality outranks ObiWan already. Here we go. Hey, wait a second. Let me back up just a little bit. So this dude here, he's in atmosphere. He's going out. This is this has got to be that vehicle we saw earlier, right? The bright, shiny new one. And he's going up to rendezvous. And now, again, this looks like maybe it's in orbit or it's in high atmosphere. This opens and we see something. Oh, okay. These are blasters. Where? It's some sort of transmission. Something. Nice little fight. Back to Coruscant. Yes. Thank you very much, Jedi Mike. There's Mon Mothma again. Something else I've noticed is Star Wars has a bad habit of leaving people in the same clothes all the time. Mon Mothma always wearing like those white robes. Coruscant, lots of traffic. And we come into the Senate building here. Look at the emblem there on the front of her podium. But we have different outfits. Mon Mothma gets a wardrobe. She gets a full wardrobe, not having to wear the white tunics every time. Very nice. Very nice. And there she is in a gown. Some sort of affair. And here she's talking about, let me see if they've got the closed captioning enabled already. Yeah, they do. Perfect. So she's causing problems and saying because she's a problem, causing problems, that they'll miss what Okay, I think I'm back. This wasn't melon this time. Let me know. Let me know if you guys are still here. This wasn't a melon this time. This was my PC. My PC froze up and it was gone. So let's. It wasn't melon. It was just my PC causing problems. So let me see if I can uh, get things going back again. The Jason Ward's still streaming. Let me find the window where it all went, and then we'll get it. We'll get this back. All right, I'm back. You guys are still here. I appreciate you hanging out while my computer figured out what was going on, and we'll get this back up, and we'll kind of get through the trailer here. Here we go. All right, and where were we? Where were we? Let's go here. Here we go. Star Wars, Case of the Mondays. I know my computer kind of crashed on me, and so the CPR worked. So we've let me get back in the trailer. We were well into it here, closing in on the finale. Let's see. Here we go. We had this little battle in space. And now this is let me stop this a minute again, because in this battle there are a couple of vessels. You see the typical TIE fighter, right? And here you got a TIE bomber. You could tell because of the two the side by side capsules there, right? That's a TIE bomber, not to be confused with Darth Vader's ship that had the curved wings on them. That is a TIE bomber. It's got two cockpits. That's the word I was looking for. And let's go back here. Okay, so Mon Mothma, Senate, Mon Mothma. Okay, we were here. All right, we'll get back to where we were when my computer decided it needed a pause. Okay. Somebody's sad. But again, we've got lots of the Empire causing problems for people. There's B2 Emo, the name of that droid. It's a family droid that mentioned that had been around for a long time. So this is, at least implies to me, this is Cassian's family. And you see, this is his mom or his grandma here, who's having a hard way of it. And because of that, that's probably part of what gets Cassian engaged. So this is his mom or his grandmother here. I think that's a woman, and she's kind of distraught. He's going to see that. That's going to be part of his upbringing. Witness the beginning. Now, I'm not sure who this lady is. And you hear this is what revolution looks like. You hear that term in the other trailer. This is what revolution looks like, but it wasn't in the same voice. And David, her name is Andy Andor. Will we ever see Thrawn's TIE Defender in live action? I hope so. Fitz. But this may be a kind of call, right? Like, this is what revolution looks like. It may be a phrase that's used by a lot of people. Again, I don't know who this lady is. Some senator. Here we go. Bit of another. And again, I don't know where this takes place. Adam mentioned earlier how we have different sets. It looks expansive. And again, that looked like a different place. I'm tired of losing. Here we go. Scotland. This is at the dam where our friend Darth Elvis visited. And they had some sets built there. He went out and got some pictures on set. He actually was able to walk around and get really close pictures of some of the set pieces when he visited. This is Scotland for all of you. Hey, Timmy, good to see you. Yeah, it's a pity about the delay. Going to September 21st. We got folks rappelling down the wall of that. Now, just so you guys know, and if you look at the pictures that are posted on our Discord, you'll see like this structure doesn't exist. This structure here, this is most definitely CG imposed. This facility back here, likely entirely CG imposed. When you see the pictures, you'll kind of get what's going on there. Because some of this stuff is real. We've seen some of this in the trailer. Now, these people are running. This looks to be maybe an escape. I'll bet you, like before we see them kind of walking through, they're very much in an orderly line. They're walking through in formation. These people are running. They're running. And there's we've got a battle going on. People getting. There we go. Now this is the one I first thought this was Maz Kanata. This is not Maz Kanata. You can tell right away. This is definitely not Maz Kanata. Still wearing like those goggle kind of things, but that's not Maz. The other person that wears goggles like this is the bounty hunter. Again, my Maz Kanata is better looking. The bounty hunter. What's his name? Going blank on his name. I don't think it's the bounty hunter dude either with the implants. Ochi of Bestoon. That's it, Roland New. Thank you. Dave. Yes, it does look theatrical. The other thing you'll note about this not Ochi, not Maz character is it got 4 arms. So I'm not sure what species this is, but the dude's got 4 arms. There's the revolution kind of breaking out on another planet. Stormtroopers, this lady here. Oh, look, she's got a staff reminiscent of Rey. Very good. Not Rey's mom. Before people start that, I don't think Calcustus right there. I didn't see Calcustus, but let's go back. Oh, you think maybe this is Calcustus? I don't know. I don't. That would be. Let's go back and look again at that person running there. Is that a lightsaber? So pay attention to his right arm when it comes down. There's something in his hand. See it? Let's go back and look again. You think that maybe Calcustus? There's something in that dude's right hand. Watch as this right arm swings down. He says at 2 minutes 11 seconds. Okay, let me go back to 2. That's 2:10. 2:10. Oh, you think this is Calcustus laying in the bed? It does look like red hair. It does look like red hair. Why would Calcustus be going through some sort of medical deal? It could be. Yeah, could be. I'd love to see Cal. I don't think we're going to get it for a while, right? I don't know if that's Cal or not. But this dude running away here in this hallway, there's something in his right hand, right there. See, right here. It looks more like a rifle now that I'm not sure. And anyhow, there we go. We got these people fighting. Look at this. I like the colors. You got a nice cloud kind of underlay here with some blues. The fire destruction. This is fantastic. Fantastic. Something's here they're chasing that's burning. Nice TIE fighter battle. There he is trying to get away. And we're almost to the end of the trailer. Almost to the end. I think now is just where we get 3 episodes. A red-haired Irishman. It could be. I think it does look. It looks very expansive. I'll wait until I see the Lord of the Rings. You make me question something though. Let me hide this on stream now. We can talk a little bit. You make me question one thing. The Lord of the Rings. This is being pushed back to September 21st. When does that Lord of the Rings show air? When does that air? I'm not sure. So, and it looks like maybe Jason stopped his stream. It's early in the morning. He's probably going to go get some coffee, take the kids to school, whatever. September 2nd for Rings of Power. Thanks, Roland. So, pushing this back to September 21st, like if they start thinking about this, some people ask, for example, why did they put Kenobi up against Stranger Things? Well, I think Kenobi was scheduled, and then Netflix said, "Oh yeah, here, take some Stranger Things," and now we've got this Lord of the Rings thing coming out on Amazon Prime, September 2nd. September 2nd. Thank you, Whitney, Roland, for that. And they're pushing this back to September 21st. I wonder if they don't want to go head to head with Rings of Power either. And does anybody know, is Rings of Power coming out all in one shot, or are they doing that episodically? I would guess that it's going to be episodically. Amazon Prime tends to do that, but I'm not 100% sure. And how many episodes is that? Whitney probably knows. Yeah. Oh, I don't think it'll release in full, but how many episodes are it? House of Dragon comes out in August as well. So August is kind of heavy with content. Patrick Ray, hello. We just took a look at the trailer. They're talking a little bit about why they pushed the start date. Amazon drops 2 at a time. Okay. On a weekly basis. Yeah. How many episodes is that, Whitney? Do you know how many episodes is the Lord of the Rings series? And where will it be in release when we get to September 21st? The 3-week delay is a little disappointing, but maybe makes sense. 8 episodes, she thinks. So we very well could be close to the end of the Lord of the Rings. If they do a couple of episodes a week, we could be 6 episodes in, theoretically, by the time Andor releases the first 3 episodes. And that'll hit with a big bang, too. Each of these are around 40 minutes. According to Jason Ward, 40 minutes, give or take. And that's a pretty significant drop on that first day. It's going to be a long day of streaming. So hey, Roland, I've heard a lot of stuff about this Lord of the Rings thing. Some of it seems to be a little overblown criticism from people who are really tied into the legacy of Tolkien. And really wanting to stay precise to Tolkien's telling. And what we understand from what Amazon, they don't have permission to retell anything of Tolkien. They have to write their own stuff. They have to come up with their new content outside of the era of the content already provided by Tolkien. So they're taking a big risk. They paid a lot of money for that brand, and how well will it come off? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, you might be right. It may be rough. It may be rough. Yeah. So basically, a 120-minute episode right at the beginning, coming right out of the gate. I do want to talk about some of these leaks. Tales of the Jedi. So before we move on to Tales of the Jedi, just with to kind of wrap up the Andor bit, 3 episodes, September 21st. The trailer is amazing. There's a lot of great content in there. Looks wonderful. We do have a very, very extensive breakdown of Tales of the Jedi. Full breakdown there. And for those of you who don't want spoilers, we really appreciate your support here. This channel, we're still relatively small in the scope of things. And we love just talk about Star Wars content here and try to stay out of some of the discourse around the social causes and the fandom itself. We just want to talk about the content. So with Tales of the Jedi, we've got a lot of spoilers here, and I just wanted to warn you about that before we go in. If you don't want spoilers for Tales of the Jedi, if you would do the things like the stream, share it out. Hey Max, good morning. nice and early in Texas, right? Texas. Good morning. Appreciate you stopping by. This is a very extensive um, leak, and so I'm gonna open it here, and just want to warn you before we open it that we're going to talk about these spoilers. One thing that I noticed at the beginning before we talk about the content itself is that this is the guy who released initially some of the footage to back up, like, hey, I'm not just making this stuff up. And I noticed in what he released here in this Reddit post that one of the first things he says off the bat is, "This is I take back some of the stuff I did before, right? I forget anything I said before." And Jason Ward's kind of talked about this as well, like when you get this information, kind of piecing together the parts, you have to figure out, like, how does this line up? What is this story? And that's what he says. He says, I want you to scrap everything I've ever said before about retcons, characters missing, tweets, anything. I've jumped the gun, elaborated on things I wasn't sure about, shared information before I knew the full story. This is something that Jason Ward has learned. And when you see him mention things, he always talks about how he has to put these pieces together. It doesn't come to you necessarily wrapped in a nice bow and put in order. You have to figure it out. And so this is, he said, imagine everything before is incorrect and you're hearing it here for the first time. And this is his first kind of foray into this leaking, and he got some stuff wrong. So he says, I'm not going to tell you what is or isn't retcon because honestly, it's not my place to do so. Genuinely don't fully know. This is a guy who's learned a lesson, right? It's the same thing that Jason Ward constantly shares. Like, look, he's a lot of stuff has to be inferred. He has to figure it out. So that's what's happening here as well. He says, if I put a question mark at the end of the sentence, it means take it with a grain of salt. My source isn't too sure, or they're confused, conflicted. Again, you only have part of the story. You're trying to fill in the blanks. So here he remember, Tales of the Jedi is set in 3 story arcs, I believe. And so we have Dooku episode 1. Disclaimer, my source isn't sure which episode comes first, so episode 1 or 2. Not exactly sure. They originally believed Mace episode came first. They said Dooku's only clean shaven, so they're not 100% sure. Leave the timeline dates up to anyone who knows more about the canon stuff. At the start of the episode, Dooku and Mace are assigned to investigate the death of Master Katri, or Cathri, right? It's a new Jedi who went missing whilst on a mission. Whilst. This tells me that this person, the use of whilst is not common in U.S. vernacular. I'm going to guess that this dude is not U.S. based. So in any case, they arrive on a planet. E.K. Johnson said something about the leaks. Basically, doesn't matter, and that Ahsoka book isn't retcon. Right. Well, and I mentioned that even before, that I wasn't sure how much the book was retcon. I've read it twice, and I didn't catch anything in the first leaks that truly retconned. It may have kind of challenged some things, but didn't retcon anything. It says that they arrive on a planet in a big city that's sort of modern. So I don't know this is Coruscant or not. They asked Senator Larrick, welcome my townspeople with open arms, very pro-Jedi. They asked the senator to see the dead master's body. It's not shown on screen, but it's obvious that that's what they see. We cut to a scene of Mace and Dooku alone again. They both feel like something's wrong. The townspeople, senator, have been acting strangely. Whilst, that's the word is again, Mace suggests they can't, that they follow the council's orders, right? Mace is saying, hey, we need to do, follow our orders, transport the body and bring it back to Coruscant. Dooku wants to investigate more. Mace doesn't let him, and Dooku gets a little stressed. They both have different opinions, but eventually Mace gives in, and they do go and investigate. I want to go back to Dooku Jedi Lost. reading the fall of Dooku from the Order, this is a really big kind of trait that he begins, and you see this a lot with the Jedi who leave the Order. They start to question the Jedi's wisdom, the Jedi Order's wisdom in what they're doing, and if they're truly being obedient to the Force, or if they are on an agenda. And Dooku wants to save people, and the Jedi Order, specifically his people, right? His people, where he's from, he wants to save them, and the Jedi Order's like, that's not our business. And he's like, how is it not our business? People are dying, people are suffering, and the Jedi are supposed to help. And they're like, nope. So he's like, all right, fine, I'm out. So that's sort of what pushes Dooku out of the Order. And here we see the case where he's going in, a Jedi's been killed. Mace is like, okay, let's bring it back. We were told to come here, get the body, go back. And Dooku's like, there's something wrong here, right? A little more sensitive to what the Force is telling him. And Patrick Ray, is this a book about the fall of Dooku? There is a book. It's Dooku, Jedi Lost. It's really good if you're interested in getting more of that story. But this is a animated series, and it seems to overlap a little bit, at least in original leaks. We'll read more of it here, but what I am seeing just from this statement here is that this is consistent with that book. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. They go to the Force to locate a place of assassination. After being told that she was killed by a group of rebels. But after looking around, finding huge blaster bolts all over the tree and ground, they discovered the blaster bolts came from a ship owned by the city, which is still in the sky. Ooh. Oh. So this is pretty good. This, again, goes back to another story where ObiWan, I think it's ObiWan. Oh, I'm trying to recollect the details. Yeah, and Ventress are involved with a situation where there's an attack on a town, and some people are killed, and he wants to investigate, and then she's telling them that he is planting evidence, and it's a big kind of mess. So, yeah, Trucker Mark, hello. In Kansas City, Missouri, heading west. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Trucker Mark. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Patrick Ray, how can I become a member? Patrick, there's if you're using an iPhone or that kind of thing, there's a link in the description to become a member. If you're using a PC or something, there should be a join button right there. That's a good way to become a member. Or better yet, go over to Patreon, where we've given some benefits to our Patreon members, and you can subscribe as a Patreon supporter, and that's very helpful for the channel as well. So, Mace and Dooku immediately ignite their lightsabers. Dooku charges towards some troops that just arrived. Mace holds him back. Hey, Mike, the shield stand shield porter. Hello. Hello. Have you could put your dad joke of the day out? Let me see. 45. It's a Star Trek one. Okay, I'll take a look before we go. But right there. So when everything's solved and they're hopping back on the ship to Coruscant, Dooku says, "It's good that we were led by our council and not by politics, nor ego." That's a word-for-word quote from the episode. Okay, so we have that. It's good that we were led by our council. By our council. Putting a lot of trust in the Jedi Council. Not by politics nor ego. Huh. Okay, not sure about that. Once they return the body to the council, Mace is promoted to master. And this is got this question mark with a footnote kind of one. But not Dooku. Dooku's sad, maybe angry, but he's not the one to shout or visibly display it. You can tell he's upset. So he speaks with Mace and says something along, "We were both there on the mission. Why were you promoted?" And it's evident that the reason he wasn't promoted is because of how he acted regarding the body. The council doesn't fully trust him yet. Very interesting. Rewarding obedience to the council, not necessarily obedience to the will of the Force. Yeah. Trying to follow along in the chat. Roland said something. Tales of Filoni, we're gonna see. Okay. And let's see. All right, I think I caught up with the chat. It's evident. Is it possible Mace just received a seat on the council instead of the rank of master? Source believes it was both. I believe it's both as well, but they aren't too familiar with the lore. If you're going to council, and it's what got Anakin so upset. How can you be on the council and not a master, right? Like, that's incompatible. And it's why Anakin gets so angry when he's put on the council and isn't given the rank of master, right? So I believe it fits together. I believe it fits together. Another thing, the source can't exactly remember why they killed the master, the body they went and got. It says, my source says it's more like the city did something wrong, something which would have had consequences to the city. I mean, there was a reason. The master was on the planet. So Cathry, that was that master that was killed. Cathry was there to investigate. And before they could find out, she got killed. And that's why Mace says she would have listened. She would have listened. She would have understood. There was no need to kill her. So apparently there's something else going on behind the scenes. And they're trying to hide that. It's why it reminds me of the book where Kenobi and I just said her name a minute ago, Ventress, are doing it, right? There's some sort of something going on just under this, under the covers, and Obi-Wan is trying to get to it and can't quite get there. And Anakin actually does some investigation for Obi-Wan and brings it to him. And there's a little subterfuge that happens, and that's part of the mystery they uncover. So it's given me very much the same sort of feeling there. If anyone has any potential answers, please comment. My source said anything might trigger his memory would be helpful. Okay, I don't have any details on that, but I can say it follows very closely to that book where Obi-Wan is investigating. He meets Ventress, and then it ends up that Anakin comes to help him out. And if any of you can remember the name of that book, that would be helpful. Right now, I'm not getting it. Dooku, episode 2. Dooku and his Padawan, Qui-Gon Jinn, are on a mission. Dooku and his Padawan, Qui-Gon Jinn, are on a mission to rescue Senator Kyle from a village in a very rundown, bad condition. So the village is in bad shape. So they only agree because the senator is a little corrupt. Makes them understand him more. And Qui-Gon, shocked, tries to stop Dooku. Wait, what happened? Oh, I missed one. After the child is rescued, the senator arrives with an army, hoping to free the child himself. But Dooku defends the village from the senator. The senator aims at Dooku, who force chokes him. Not beheads, as was previously stated. So Dooku isn't afraid to force choke somebody. Qui-Gon is shocked and tries to stop Dooku, but he's pushed away. So Dooku pushes Qui-Gon away. Eventually, the child comes out and stops Dooku from killing the senator. Qui-Gon is shocked about his master's behavior. Oh, another clue there. We've got an OUR. We've got this source is from Europe. Confirmed right there. Behavior. My source hasn't told me as much about the episode as he has the others, so it's quite brief right now. If I learn more, I'll edit the post. So Dooku, episode 3. This would be the final part of the arc. The episode begins with Dooku on Coruscant. Unclear whether or not it's part of the order. That happened in Padawan as well. The book that people are all worked up about, seeing Obi-Wan go on this mission. Obi-Wan runs across. Obi-Wan's very young, he's 16 years old, and Dooku's going through the hallway, and there's rumors that Dooku has left. Like he's left the Order, and so it's not confirmed in the book that he left the Order, but there's rumors abound that he has, and there's concern that Qui-Gon left with Dooku when Dooku left. That's part of the Padawan book. So in here, they're saying the same thing. Dooku, at some point, he leaves the Order. Not exactly sure where in the story this happens. You're funny. I see what's going on in chat. Very good, Daniel Fisher. Whitney, you guys are great. My source believes is heavily hinted at. It could be that he hasn't left, but he's considering leaving. Again, Dooku Jedi Lost gives you a full detail of why he leaves and when he leaves the Order. And it has very much to do with his title of Count of Serrano, his home planet of Serrano, and taking over for his family in leadership on Serrano when the Jedi Order would not go to protect the people who were being hurt there. So in here, we don't know where that is. If Lucasfilm avoids retcons, it makes sense if it had already left. The sequence is set in the middle of the Phantom Menace, right before Qui-Gon presents Anakin to the Council. Okay, and interesting. Is this book canon? Patrick, I believe it is canon. Dooku Jedi Lost is canon. Yeah, it is. And not Kanan, but canon. I got the joke. I saw it. Dooku and his former Padawan, so that would be Qui-Gon, discussed the Sith Lord that Qui-Gon encountered on Tatooine. Although Dooku may know more than he's showing, he's likely working with Palpatine. Qui-Gon then goes to speak to the council. We cut to the next scene. Time jump set right after the Phantom Menace. Dooku's a more official funeral ceremony on Coruscant for Qui-Gon. Dooku's visibly sad. Ki-Adi-Mundi gives a speech. Dooku's looking through the archives, and he deletes Kamino from the database. So we knew that happened because in Attack of the Clones, of course, Obi-Wan gets that Kamino saber dart, right? And he goes and looks it up, and it's missing. So here we get where that happened. Dooku deleted it. He knows about the clones. It says likely from Palpatine. I would say it's likely he learned it from the other guy, the guy he ends up killing, who actually commissioned the clones, right? Sifo-Dyas. I think that likely Dooku learned about the clones from Sifo-Dyas, not from Palpatine. Could have learned it from Palpatine, but I think Dooku already knew about him because of Sifo-Dyas. I had to go back and look at the full bit of it, but anyway, that's the case there. Dooku then leaves the temple, and Yaddle, who was watching him the whole time, becomes suspicious. Sneakily follows him out. Yaddle does not speak backwards. That's the case. What we've seen is in the High Republic, there's a couple quotes from Yaddle. She doesn't speak in the reverse either, and I believe there's some old comic book runs that are now legends, and she doesn't speak backwards there either. So I think the only person who speaks backwards is Yoda, and not exactly sure why he does that. Dooku then arrives in an area that could be the works of Coruscant and meets Palpatine, Darth Sidious. They discuss Darth Maul and his downfall, both still believing him to be dead. Okay, and you have to go back and watch the Clone Wars animated series to see how Darth Maul comes back to life. Has to do with the Night Sisters in any way. Qui-Gon and Sifo-Dyas are also mentioned. Sifo-Dyas, again, the guy who kind of commissioned the clone army, and I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Dooku kills Sifo-Dyas, so that would be the case. We see Yaddle slam open the door, stare the duo down, and ignite her saber. Note, Yaddle does not see who Sidious is. She just sees, the cloaked Sidious. She asks Dooku why he's doing this, why he's conspiring with the enemy. He replies, I see through the Order's lies, their hypocrisy. This is exactly what got back to him leaving the Order. When they wouldn't protect his homeworld, right, Sarana, and they let those people die, he kind of fell out with the Order. It's like, you guys are not following the will of the Force. You're following an agenda. You've been corrupted, and he is trying to undermine the Jedi Council because he believes that they've strayed. It's a very interesting story when you start to get into Dooku's entire backstory. But in any event, Yaddle then attacks him, and they duel. Yaddle's very powerful, does a lot of stunts, probably much like Yoda in Attack of the Clones. Eventually, Dooku gets the upper hand, is urged by Palpatine to kill her. Do it. He ignites his blue lightsaber and strikes her down. Palpatine then proclaims him as Darth Tyrannus. So that's how he gets his title, Darth Tyrannus. So up until that, he was not. So I guess this keeps in the rule of two kind of thing. There's been some speculation for some time since the prequels came out that they were actually violating the rule of two because of Dooku. We know that we had my brain this morning. Maul. we know Maul was his apprentice, but then Dooku comes up, and Dooku seems to be there, and where both of them, was one kind of there at the same time as the other. Were Tyrannus and Maul both students of Palpatine at the same time, thus breaking the rule of two. It appears here that they're kind of filling in the gaps and letting us know not only Yaddle's fate, but also that Dooku did not become Palpatine's or Darth Sidious's apprentice until after Maul was killed. So my source believes this to be Dooku's last day in the Order. I think he's already left. So when, again, Dooku, Jedi lost, Count Dooku leaves the Order to be Count of Sarana and to return back to his home planet and lead his people, protect his people, be there for his people. And he leaves the Order then, before he joins with Palpatine. So I think the case is here that he had already left the Order. He's Count of Sarana, and at this point he would align with Dooku or with Palpatine. When he leaves the Order, he isn't part of the Sith. That's not the case. So my source originally thought it was Geonosis as part of the vibe and atmosphere is orange, but after showing them the photos from the trailer, it says very well could be Coruscant. So we'll have to wait until that plays itself out to see. My source originally believed it was Palpatine and Dooku's first meeting. It's highly likely they've been meeting for a while. Not sure about that. It could be, just not sure. We'll have to see it. It's unclear how the Jedi find out about her death, meaning Yaddle's death. All right, so that's the Dooku arc. All of this content is great. Star Wars. Thank you, Patrick Ray. Yeah, I believed it would be available. Let's go. Let's go, Star Wars. Very good. All right, so the Ahsoka arc. This is the one that some folks were, at least she doesn't go out like a chump. It's going to be something awesome. Right. Good point, Roland. So we're going to get into the Ahsoka arc now. And let's see. Yep, spoiler warning still there. So you guys know Ahsoka. Episode 1, Ahsoka is Force sensitive. Her mother's always known she was special. And you see that a lot with young Force sensitives. There's another book that I'm listening to on audio. The audio book I checked out of the library. Let me get the title of the book here. It's The Force Collector. A Force Collector. This kid is also force sensitive. His grandmother knows it. Like weird things are happening. He's trying to find it out. So in this case as well, Ahsoka's force sensitive. Her mother's always known. Her mother's out hunting one day when a big wolf creature comes out of the woods and steals Ahsoka. Ahsoka is brought to a cave, but she tames the creature with the force and rides it back home to the town. Oh, I love that. I love that. The tribe elder then says to Ahsoka's mother, Ahsoka is Jedi, as seen in the trailer. Okay, you'll notice this one's a lot shorter than the others. There's not as much story-wise as there's in the other two episodes. So, Tales of the Jedi, it should be mentioned, these are not full-length animated episodes. They're shorts. So they're going to be in the shorter nature, not 20 minutes, maybe 10 to 12 minutes at the longest, maybe 5 minutes at the shortest. So this was on the shorter end of it. Episode 1 was 12 minutes for Ahsoka. Okay, very good, Whitney. Everybody's just going to be focused on the Yaddle episodes. That's a pretty big deal. So let's go in here. Anakin, episode 2. Anakin wants Ahsoka to learn a certain move. So we've time jumped forward into the Clone Wars animated series. Anakin wants Ahsoka to learn a certain move, forces the clones to stun her over and over again. The training lasts many years. From season 1 to season 3, as a result, Ahsoka finally learning how to do it. She receives a second lightsaber as a reward? ? Not sure that that's how that happens, but the person giving the information just notices that there's a second lightsaber there. So that could be the deal. She then shows off her skills to the council, plus some younglings attending as Balaba and Caleb Dune. Oh, here we go. Yes, Kanan Jarrus. That would be very exciting to see Ahsoka with Caleb Dune at the same time in a training episode. And Deepa Balaba, we saw her in the Bad Batch season 1, episode 1. We saw Deepa and Caleb Dune in there. We've seen their story is told in comics primarily, but Caleb Dune later gets renamed as Kanan Jarrus. He is known as Kanan Jarrus more famously. So there's that. And ObiWan, Plo Koon, and most of the council are there. Of course, for those that don't know, Plo Koon is actually the Jedi who discovers Ahsoka. And I wonder in episode 1 if we will see Plo Koon show up to bring Ahsoka to the council. That would be great. So once she's done, she brags about it being so easy. That it sounds like it's a comedic line because you see through the episode her failing so many times, right, and getting shocked. Oh, very good. Ricardo, they'll ruin it just as they. What do you say? Just as they have every single thing they laid their greedy hands on. So not good. Oh no, Ricardo, I'm so sorry that you've had a bad experience with that. I'm quite the opposite. I've primarily loved all of the content that we've gotten in the Disney era of Star Wars, but that's not necessarily the case for everybody. Yeah, and Nikki, exactly. Nikki, good friend. Nikki also not exactly thrilled with all the Disney content in Lucasfilm. So you're not alone here, Ricardo. But so sorry that you've had that experience. I love it. So you'll learn if you hang out here, and I hope you do. You'll learn that I graciously take the title of hey, simp. Good to see. I'm distracted. I'm watching too many things at the same time. No, I often get called a shill, and it's because I love so much the content. Much like my friend Mike Porter, who is now being called a Marvel shill because he loves Marvel so much, the MCU. So I will take it. I'll take it. But again, hope you hang out here. This scene set, so we time jump, set during Clone Wars Episode 7, Episode 12. This is exciting. Some of the best Star Wars content of the era, and I think most people agree that Nikki, I am the only one who can give out shield cards. Okay, I'm fine with that. Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 12. Right after Ahsoka and Rex approach the clones, the scene's extended version episode is 3 minutes long. The sequence shows Ahsoka using a move Anakin made her learn. Okay, so part of her defense against, I'm guessing this is Order 66. Yeah, it showed teaching of her move. Anakin saved her from Order 66. Okay, excellent. Season 7 of the Clone Wars, I think is awesome. The entire season, but especially the finale, the final arc, the Order 66 arc, really good. Rex and Ahsoka also have a conversation at one point during the scene, perhaps at the beginning of the sequence. I don't know what the conversation's about. Perhaps on their way down to Jesse. This does happen, just not sure how or if it's in relation to the previous paragraph. So don't know what this conversation is. They have a conversation. There's probably a placeholder, and he'll fill out the details later. He just doesn't know it yet. So episode 3, Ahsoka, episode 3. Episode opens with Ahsoka on Naboo. Oh, going back to Naboo. This is part of what people were worried about. She's walking through a row of archways before arriving at the funeral parade march of Padme, as seen in Return of the Sith. She's hiding behind a crowd in her cloak and her head down, visibly upset. This is interesting because this is where some people were saying it could retcon the Ahsoka novel. In the Ahsoka novel, right after Order 66 scene in the end of the Clone Wars animated series, Ahsoka goes into hiding, and she's gone for like 10 years. And anything that happens between Order 66 and that 10-year gap potentially retcons part of the Ahsoka novel because she's in hiding that whole time. However, I'll say that in the novel, it doesn't say she doesn't do anything. It just says that she's in hiding. And as long as when she's at this funeral scene, she doesn't do anything. Ahsoka's, hey, we're crediting you. She's only in hiding for 1 year. I thought it was 10 years. You might be right about that. 1 year. 1 year. But hey, we're covering your leaks here. So appreciate you stopping in. Assuming this is you. But the archways. As long as she doesn't do anything significant at the funeral, then it's not going to cause any problems, right? If she's in hiding for a year and the book kind of says that she's disappeared, I'll thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're trying to give you credit. Hopefully you've caught some of the detail. I've filled in some of the blanks for you. So hopefully nothing happens here that causes any problem with the books. So, Patrick Ray, I joined. How do I get my flying saucer? I'm not. It normally takes a day. So the YouTube server will sync up and you'll see it. Or it can happen faster if you refresh your window. It may show up quicker, right? In the funeral, she's hidden behind the crowd. She's barely seen. Doesn't retcon much, in my opinion. Very good. Appreciate it. And thanks for adding some info there. She then heads into the palace, where she comes across Bail Organa, who tells her coming to Naboo was unwise. Now, see, this this is what worries me, because in the Ahsoka novel, this becomes problematic, and it's one of the things I mentioned in the Kenobi series, that Bail Organa finds out that she's alive in the book. So I suppose he could think that she's killed between this and then, but I prefer that they leave that intact from the book. I'm going to have to read the book again, like for the third time. But I prefer they leave it intact in the book when she meets him there. And there's a whole thing in the Ahsoka novel where Bail Organa has interaction with her. There's events that happen in there. I don't want to ruin the book for anybody who wants to read it who hasn't. But in that book, Bail has a relationship with Ahsoka, and he knows she's alive. And then when they capture Leia at the beginning of Kenobi, and he goes to ObiWan and says, "Hey, you're the only one that I trust." Like, well, hold on a second. What about Ahsoka? Now, I get that he says Obi-Wan's the only one he trusts because he's watching over Luke. But come on, Bail. Like, Obi-Wan's got a job. And Obi-Wan complains about it at the beginning of Kenobi, right? He says, no, I've got to stay here, so on and so forth. Go get some senators. Get somebody else. Or go get your army. Go get some other folks to go get her, right? And he says, no, I can't do that. You need to do it. You're the only one who knows the importance of her. And that's true. Ahsoka doesn't know that, presumably, at least at this point, doesn't know that Leia is Anakin's daughter or that Luke is Anakin's son. And so perhaps bringing Ahsoka into that circle of trust would introduce some more risk. But come on now. They're making it really, really hard to reconcile all of this, right? Because Bail Organa has been working with Ahsoka. Bail knows Ahsoka. Ahsoka is like competent, or let's say at the very least, Ahsoka could be involved in there, and why she isn't called upon for that story challenges me a little bit, because I mean, come on now. I'm just I don't think Ahsoka would know about the twins directly. Right, she doesn't. But you would have to bring her into the circle of trust. Why not bring Ahsoka into the circle of trust? It's of all the labels I take in the accusations of being a shill that I take, I can tell you guys that I am critical as well. Like Ahsoka and Bail, you watch Rebels, you know that Ahsoka and Bail know each other. You read the book, Ahsoka and Bail work together, and it toasts me a little bit, right? It frustrates me. So sorry about that. Sorry, it just annoys me. I can't help it. So anyhow, sorry. Bail coming to Naboo was unwise. They then take a walk over a balcony overlooking a lake with the bridge, and a funeral take place in the background. They discuss where they'll go from here. Ahsoka says she wants to settle down somewhere, and Bail gives her a comm device. Tells her to call if she needs anything. Well, she doesn't have that when she meets him in the book. Then two clones from Coruscant Guard make their way over, and Ahsoka quickly hides. They eventually leave, and Ahsoka heads for Rada, which picks up where the book does. Okay, I'm annoyed. I am sufficiently annoyed. Just tell you guys, I am sufficiently annoyed. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take this in, and I'm like, So once she arrives, she takes up the fake name Ashla. Yes, this is from the book. She does take up the name Ashla. She feels like an outsider. She makes her way to an empty house. Yes, Caden and crew seen in the background. This is straight from the book. This is straight from the book. Absolutely. One day, a truck nearly falls on Caden's head. Ahsoka uses the Force. She quickly hurries away. Caden tells Ahsoka she saw what she did, and she's a Jedi. Yeah, all this fits in with the book. Ahsoka says, no, you've got it wrong, tries to come up with an excuse. Caden doesn't buy it, but she persists. Ahsoka gives in, admits she is a Jedi, but it's important nobody finds out. Caden agrees. Yeah, this all fits. Perfect. Ahsoka then goes to eat her food on her own. Caden, noticing, asks her to come sit with her and her friends. Perfect. All this is great. They sit and talk beside a campfire. Yep. All goes right with the book. So that's great. A few weeks later, Ahsoka and Caden leave to go get supplies, come back to the village on fire and everyone dead. Wait a second. An event sort of like this happens. A thing happens, and people are killed, and they create this secret hideout up in the mountains. One of Caden's crew members saw Ahsoka and ratted her out to the sixth brother. Yeah, that happens too. I don't think it happens like this, but it does happen. Ahsoka's running up to it. She tells Caden to stay where he is, goes fight the Inquisitor. And who might you be? Ahsoka fights him saberless. Yep, that happens. She makes his lightsaber explode. Yep, that happens. It happens in the book. After the fight, we do not see Ahsoka's white lightsabers or purification. Yeah, it takes some time for her to do that, but that's where she gets her white crystal. She takes the red crystals from that saber. Bail then arrives to save Ahsoka, Caden, and the two boys from the crew. Tells they fight. They're the first recruits in rebellion. End of episode. Ooh, I don't think that fits exactly with the book either. This is like, if you're going to use the book's content, then use the book's content. Like, okay, I'm going to go back and read the book again before I completely rage out on this. But this has got me miffed. Let me put it that way. Assuming the Inquisitor's name and rank is kept as current. Yep, hopefully it is. That's everything you can currently tell. All right, so that covers that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take the warning off the stream here, and want to thank Ahsoka for the leak. It's a really good information, extensive and good. But I see now. Okay, there we go. I can take the spoiler off. So that covers the leaks, and from Tales of the Jedi to this point, I'm a little, Filoni approved her book, right? And Miara isn't there. Maybe doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, I'm getting so triggered over this book, and how these leaks tie in with the book. It's going to take some work for me to go back. I'm going to reread the book. I'll do that for all of you. I'll reread the Ahsoka novel, and I'll look at these leaks again in the context of that novel, because this is at least for where my head is right now, causing me problems, more problems than I had with the season 7 of the Clone Wars. Because at least in season 7 of the Clone Wars, there were some variances, but it can be explained from that telling a story from two different perspectives thing, right? So whether the lightsabers were blue or white, I can kind of get over how the conversations happen, the encounter with Maul, all of that. Like, those things happened, but the details with how they happened and what happened were different between the book and the show. And now we're going to get Tales of the Jedi, which seemed to bump up against that book again, which seemed to cause some more problems. And I need to reread it. I need to reread it with this in mind and see if I can work it out. Because otherwise, look forward to a future stream where I'll be very less than happy. So for all of you who love to give me a hard time about being a shill, I'm liable to lose my badge, at least for a day. At least for a day. Nikki will have to revoke my badge and then give it back to me later because I'm troubled over this. Oh, which I need to mention. If you don't know, Ahsoka is my absolutely favorite character in all of Star Wars. I love her. My daughter, for my 55th birthday, my oldest daughter got me this. I showed it on, but look at that. Look at this beautiful picture. This is on canvas. It's a reprint, right? This is a reprint on canvas, and she framed it. Just a cheap Walmart frame, but that's okay. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love the artwork. This is a wonderful poster, and it'll go right on the wall. But so I love Ahsoka. I love her character. I love her story, and it just annoys me that my favorite character is getting kind of chipped away at the edges. And I've been sensitive to the people who got mad at The Last Jedi and Luke's portrayal, with Luke being their favorite character and seeing his character portrayed that he was in The Last Jedi. For me, it didn't have that effect, but I'm sensitive to the people that it did have that effect, right? For me, it's not inconsistent with his character. For me, I can work it out. For me, it's not an issue. For me, now I'm having more problems with Ahsoka. But that's how it works, right? When you fall in love with a character, you fall in love with their story, and you get invested in that story. Then when they start to chip away at it and change it on you, it puts you in some discomfort. So I'm going to have to deal with this. So look, we've gone for quite a while this morning. I've enjoyed spending time with you. I love the trailer. I'm excited for it. The September release date is certainly. We've got a troll. We've got a bot. We've got a bot in the chat. Nikki will hammer that bot, I'm sure. So that's I got to look forward to seeing how this all plays out. Yep. Thanks. It's handled. Thank you, Nikki. I knew that. All right. Thank you so much. The September release date is annoying me, but it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. And this Ahsoka Tales of the Jedi thing is got me perturbed. The Mike Porter dad joke. We've got the Mike Porter dad joke up here from Twitter, and you guys, the link to Mike Porter's Twitter account is in the description here. I've got it right here. So this is a Star Trek edition today. So all you Star Wars fans, Mike Porter is all things nerd, right? He's not limited to Marvel, MCU, and Star Wars. Mike Porter loves all the things, and we love Mike Porter. And so the Star Trek edition today, what did the Star Trek pilot of the small ship say to the spatial anomaly who tried to eat him? What did the Star Trek pilot of a small ship, now what's a small ship in Star Trek, say to the spatial anomaly who tried to eat him? Oh, says, you better shuttle your mouth. Oh, Mike Porter. Thank you so much for your support. We love Mike and all he does for this community. Appreciate you being here as well, my friend. I think that closes it out for the day. We'll be in touch, and I look forward to talking to you all later. Until next time, my friends. Oh, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you always. Bye-bye.